Hi, welcome to my channel Ruby Stedman. Today I'll be teaching you how to crochet this beautiful poncho. It's really easy to do. It's all done with half double crochet and the two combination of two carrot cakes. I hope you guys like it and give it a try, and here is the list of material you're gonna need to make it. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe and click on the little bell, that way you get notification each time I upload a video. Remember, I make my videos in Spanish and English. If you receive a Spanish video and you want to see in English, go to the main page of my YouTube channel, that you'll find the English version in there. To make this crochet poncho, I'm gonna use Caron latte cakes. They are 58% acrylic, 42% nylon, 250 grams, bulky 5. The color of this one is gray velvet. That's nice. They are nice and soft with a halo. And the color of this one is grinding teal. I have 2 of these and 2 of this one. I don't know the amount of yarn I'm gonna use yet because I don't start my poncho yet. So I'll let you know at the end. The crochet hook is 6.5 millimeter. You're gonna need tapestry needle and scissor. If you want to guide yourself by measurement, you'll need a measurement tape. If you don't, you can guide yourself the amount of stitches that I'm gonna do for mine. And you're gonna need as well for buttons. You can use buttons like this one. These are coconut shell buttons. They have like a design inside, or you can use some acrylic button like this one. These are the ones that I'm gonna use for my poncho. This is the stitch that I'm gonna use for the poncho, and in here I have this blanket that is done with a 1 color yarn and a blend, so you can use a blend and a 1 color or 2 1 color yarn. Okay, don't have to be like this. You can use any combination that you like because it will look amazing anyway. So I have these other latte cakes in here. You see? You can use any of these with these ones that they are 1 color. Okay, for example, with this gray, you can use any of these. Even this one that have a little bit of a gray, but it's a very light gray. It's a different gray than this one. You can use with this one. And for example, this one, you can do it like that. Even this one, that is the teal, with this coral looking, it will look nice as well. So you can use any latte blend with one that is just a 1 color. You don't can use 2 blend. Okay, I just wanted to say that. So you can use your imagination for the color combination. This is the graph or chart for the stitch. I already have the picture of these on my Facebook page, Ruby Stedman Crochet, and in my Instagram, Ruby Stedman Crochet. You can find the picture there, and you can print it, you can copy, or you can save it in your phone, and you'll have the chart. The stitch is multiple of 20 stitch. So in here I have 20. That's 1. And here I have 20 more. So this is 2 repetition, and you work them for 20 rows. That create a full motif. You can do this by working as well half of the motif. So instead of 20 and 20 and 20, you can put 20, 20 and 10. That will give you half of the motif at the end. But personally, I like to do the full motifs. So I'm gonna refer to them as the main color and the accent color. These really don't have a main or accent color, but it will make more sense to refer to them like that because in my mind I will know which color to change. So that will be much easier doing it that way. So you're gonna do a chain long enough, and you'll measure in your body. I'm gonna start with a slip knot, and I'm gonna do a chain of 80. That will give me 4 repetitions, and I will measure to see if that's the width that I want for my poncho. So I will measure here when I have my 80 chains. Here I have my 80 chains. So we're going to work 10 stitches with the gray and 10 with the accent color or teal, 10 with the gray, 10 with the accent color. So we're going to do half double crochet, and I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, and then number 4 I'm going to do my second half double crochet because the chain 2 counts as the first one. So I have 2 of 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now with the teal or accent color, we're going to work 10 stitches. I'm going to pass it through the loop. We're going to pull that loop, and we're going to carry the gray as we work the 10 stitch of the teal, and we're going to do 10 with this one. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm going to bring the gray, pass it through the loop, pull this yarn, and I'm going to carry the teal as well. And now you're going to do 10 half double crochet with the gray. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And like that, you're going to continue working 10 of the gray, 10 of the teal accent color, 10 of the gray, 10 of the teal, until the end. You start with 10 of the gray and you'll finish with 10 of the accent color. Now we'll change to the accent color or teal, and you see I have this one in here and the gray in the front. So I will grab this one. I will pull the gray a little bit, only a little bit, because it will get loose when you do the next stitch. So usually I do 2, and then I pull 1 and 2 and pull again, and that will disappear in here. And like that I will continue working 10 of one color, 10 of the other, 10 of until the end of the first row. I finished row 1 and it will look like this. Now we're going to work in row 2, and it's from the left to the right, and you're going to start with 2 of the accent color. As you see, you have a blank space here and 2 squares, so that is 2 stitches each. A square is 1 stitch, and then we'll have 10 at the main color, 10 at the accent, 10 at the main, and at the end of the row, in the last stitches, you will have 8 of the accent color. So if you count here your 20 stitches, you will have 2 at the accent color, 10 at the main, and you have 8. But in the next, you will start with 2, so 8 and 2 is 10. That's why you will do 2 at the beginning, 10, 10, 10, 10. At the end, you do the 8 you have left. This graph or chart is very easy to follow because you only have to pay attention at the beginning of the row. If you start with 10, at the end you will finish at the row with 8. If you start with 4, at the end of the row you'll finish with 6 at the same color that you start the row. Okay, so very easy. So, and here I'm gonna bring the gray up, so I'm gonna pass it in between the tail and the loop. I'm gonna chain 2, 1 and 2, and I brought the gray 1 stitch up. I'm gonna turn my work around, and that's my first of 2. So yarn over, you go to the next one and do your second half double crochet. Now you're gonna do 10 with the gray, so again you will pass the gray through the loop, pull this one a little bit, and now you will do 10 with the gray, 10 with the teal. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We have half. Now we have to change color and do 10 of the tail. So one of my subscribers mentioned that she liked to do this like this and finish with this color. I try to do that way, but then I end up with more stitch of one color in the top. So for me it's easier. That way when I count, I know the stitch that I have. Doing, maybe just me, but just in this design. Usually I do that, what I just showed you, but for this one I like it to do it this way. So I bring it through the loop, I close that one, and I will work now my 10 with the accent color or teal. So after I do my 2 stitches, I pull the gray and that little loop disappear. So now I will do 10 with this one, 10 with the other one, 10 with this one, 10 with the other one, and I will finish with 8 of the accent color. I'm going to work in my last 8 stitches. I'm going to pass the accent color or teal and do 8 half double crochet. So that's 1, 2. After I do 2, I pull a little bit, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here I have 2. You see this one here and the chain 2. So in top of this one you're gonna do 7, and you have to make sure that you always do 1 in top of the second chain, otherwise you will be decreasing 1 stitch like that. Now you bring up the gray and then you chain one with the gray in between, and then the next one, turn your work around, and the gray now is one stitch up. Now we're gonna turn our work around, and we're gonna work in row 3. It's exactly the same as 2, exactly the same. You start with 2 of the accent color, and then 10 of the main, 10 of the accent, 10 of the main, and at the end of the row you'll finish with 8 of the accent color. It's exactly the same. So I have the chain 2 count as the first half of the crochet. Go to the next one and do your second one. You have 2. And if you look here, this chain 2 is on top of the last one that I did. And this one and the second. Now we're going to change color again. That's the gray. And with the gray we're going to do 10. 2, 3, 4. Like that you're going to continue until you have 10 of the gray, and then you'll change color to the accent color or teal, and you will do 10, 10, 10, 10. At the end you'll finish with 8. I finished that row with my 8 half double crochet. Now again I'm going to lift the gray, and I'm gonna go under and do my 2 chains with the tail and turn my work around, and now the gray is 1 stitch up. And now for row 4 you will work 4 of the accent color, and then 10 of the main, 10 of the accent, 10 of the main, 10 of the accent, and so on. At the end you'll finish with 6 of the accent color. So you start with 4 and finish with 6. So that's 2, 3, and 4. Again, you're going to change to the gray. Pull this one. And you're going to continue working. 10 of this one, 10 of the other one, 10 of this one, 10 of the other one, and at the end you'll finish with 6 of the accent color. And I'm working with this one, and I don't know if I like the combination of the color because I like bright colors. I may change the teal to a brighter color, even if it's a blend, because I like bright colors. So I will work for a few rows to see how it will look, and then I will make my mind if I want to change or not. So work this row until the end, and now you work 10 of the gray, 10 of the teal, 10 of the gray, 10 of the teal, 10 of the gray. At the end you finish with 6 of the teal. So you start with 4 and you finish with 6. Remember to count the stitches really well each time you do 10, because if you make a mistake, it don't gonna be even the sign. You have to have 10, 10, 10, 10 all the way until the end, that you will finish with your 6 stitches. And I love the texture of this yarn. I wish I had made the baby blanket with this yarn because it feels amazing. So continue doing this row. You will start with 4 and you will finish with 6. So I finished row 4, and I decided that I'm going to change the teal for this watermelon. It will look brighter, lighter. I found that it looked a little bit too dark with the combination of these two colors. So I'm going to do this 4 row, and I'm going to start with these 2. I will work off camera with this for 4 rows, and when it's time to work on 5, I will measure here to continue with row 5, but with these 2 colors, okay? So I frog my piece until here, where I start with the other color, so I'm keeping the chain, and I'm keeping my first 10 stitches, and now I will continue with this. I wanted to show you this just in case you are in the same dilemma as I was. You want to change color, so you don't have to undo everything. I finished my 4th row with this color combination, and I really like this one, these two together, and I still have even lighter colors in here, so it will look really nice. So now we're going to work on row 5, and row 5 is exactly the same as 4. You're going to start with 4 of the accent color, and then 10 at the main, 10 at the accent, 10 at the main, 10 at the accent, 10, and so on, and you're going to finish with 6 of the accent color. Again, you're going to bring up the gray, and with this one you're going to chain 2, you're going to turn your work around, and you're going to work 4, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're going to change to the other color, exactly the same, all is exactly the same. You slip that one through that loop, pull this one, and now with this color you will do 10. So you're going to continue with that repetition, 10, 10, 10, 10. At the end you'll finish with 6 of the accent color. So do row 5, and I will meet you here for row 6. I finished 5. Now I'm gonna work in 6. In row 6 you're gonna work 6 with the accent color, and then 10 at the main, 10 at the accent, 10 at the main, 10 at the accent, and so on. You finish with 4. So it's exactly the same, but on the way back, you see. And here you finish with 6 of this color. Now you're gonna start with 6 of that color. So again, you're gonna bring the gray 1 stitch up, and you're gonna crochet 2 chains, turn your work around, and that counts as a stitch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 half double crochet. Now we're going to work with the gray, pass the gray through the loop, pull this one, and now you're going to work 10 with the gray, and then 10, 10, 10, and you finish with 4 stitches of the accent color. And that will be row 6, and then I will meet you here to work in row number 7. So always working half double crochet, and you continue. Now I'm gonna work in number 7, and I'm gonna start with 6 of the accent color, and then 10, 10, 10. At the end I will finish with 4 of the accent color. So it's the same as the row before, but now we start with 6 and finish with 4. So 3. Remember the chain 2 counts as the first one. 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to change color to the gray, and now with the gray I will work 10, and then we'll change to the accent color and work 10, and so on, and you'll finish with 4 stitches at the end. So I'll meet you here to work in row 8. So it's just half double crochet, 10, 10, 10. At the end you finish. I finished row 7. 4. We're gonna work on 8, and for 8 you're gonna do 8 of the accent color, and then 10, 10, 10, 10. At the end you're gonna finish with 2 at the accent color. So you start with 8 and finish with the missing 2. So again, in here you're going to bring the gray up and pass it in between the yarn and the loop. Chain 1 and 2, turn your work around, and now you're going to do 8, so the chain 2 is 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You're going to change color to the gray, and you're going to do 10 with the gray, 10 with the accent color, and they're all half double crochet. And then at the end you're going to start with 8, and then you're going to finish with the missing 2 of this one at the end. And then after that we're going to work a 9. The 9 is exactly I'm going to finish 8 with 2 and the accent color. So the second one you have to look for the chain space, and you have your 2. Now you bring the gray in between these 2, chain 2, turn your work around, and now you're going to do this in row 9 the same repetition as 8. You're going to do 8 half double crochet, and then 10, 10, 10, 10, and finish with 2 at the end. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now you'll change to the gray, one color, and you start working 10 of this color, 10 of the other one, 10 of the main, 10 of the accent. At the end you'll finish with 2 of the accent color. After that we'll work in row 10, and that will be the first half of the motif. Finish here with my 2. So you always have to look for the last one, the chain space, because if you don't, you'll be missing 1 stitch and you'll be decreasing your stitches. Now we want to work in 10, and 10 is 10 of the accent color, 10 of the main, 10 of the accent, 10 at the main, all the way until the end of this row. So again, I bring the gray between the loop and the strand. I do 2 chains, turn my work around, and now I'm gonna do 10 with this color. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now you're going to change color, and with the gray you're going to do 10 stitches, and then you change to the other color and do 10, and you will work 10, 10, 10 until the end of this row, and there will be half of one. I finished row 10. Now we're going to work in 11, and 11 is 10 of the accent color, 10 of the main, 10 of the accent, 10 at the main. So it's 10 and 10 again. But here we finish with the gray, and now we have to work the first stitch with the accent color. So through that loop you're going to pass the accent color, you pull the gray, and now you're going to pass the gray in between the yarn and the loop, and you're going to chain 2 with the accent color, 1 and 2. You're going to turn your work around, and you're ready to carry the gray and work with the accent color. So now you're going to do 10 of these, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now you're going to change to the gray, and you're going to do 10 with the gray, and 10 with the accent, 10 with the gray, until the end that you're going to finish with 10 of the. Now you're going to work on 12. 12 is exactly the same as 2. The only difference is that the color is the opposite, and here is with the accent color, here will be with the main color. So we're changing out the borders to the main color of the piece. So you see here all this 10 row is with the accent color, and now will be with the main color in both ends. So you start with 2 the main color, and then 10 of the accent, 10 of the main, 10 of the accent, and so on, and you'll finish with 8 of the main color. Now we're doing the opposite. So now the one that will bring up in between is the accent color. We do 2 chain with the gray, turn our work around, and that's 1 and 2, and change to this one, and then we start 10 10 10. At the end we'll finish with 8 of the main color. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and now you change to the main color and work 10 10 10, and you'll finish with 8 of the main color. Or I finished 12. I'm gonna work 13. It's exactly like 12. It's like 2 and 3 are exactly the same. You're gonna start, I'm gonna pass this one in between the gray and chain 2, turn my work around. That chain 2 counts as the first one, and this one is 2. Now I will change color, and with this one I'm gonna do 10, and then with the gray or main color you do 10, and then with this one 10, and so on. At the end you're gonna finish with 10 of the gray of main color. You know, I wish I had made the baby blanket with this yarn, because I absolutely love the way I feel and the way I look as well, because those little hair or halo, it make this piece look amazing, and I'm in love with this color combination for this piece too. So continue with the 10 10 10. I will meet you here at the end. You will finish with 8 at the main color, and then we'll work in row 14. I finished 13 and I already chained 2 and turned my work around because it's exactly the same. For 14 you're gonna do 4 with the gray, 10 with the accent color, 10 with the gray, 10 at the accent color, and you're gonna continue 10 10 10. At the end you'll finish with 6, so you start with 4 at the gray and finish with 6 at the gray. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Change color, and then now you start 10 10 all the way until the end of the row, doing 10 at one color, 10 at the other, and always half double crochet. At the end you're going to finish with 6 of the gray, and I will meet you here to work on 15. I finished 14. I'm going to work in 15, and it is exactly the same as 14. I already chained 2, and that counts as the first stitch. Now I have to do 3 more for a total of 4. So that is 2, 3, and 4. Now you're going to change color, and you're going to work 10 stitches of each color until the end, you know, alternating 10 one color, 10 of the other, like you've been doing so far. At the end you're going to finish with 6 of the gray or main color. After that you will chain 2 and turn your work around to work on row 16. I finished 15. Now we're going to work in 16. In 15 you finish with 6, and in 16 you start with 6 again of the same color. So this time the stitches will be the same color on each space. So I have the chain 2, and that counts as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You're going to change color, and now you have 10 of the accent color and top of this 10 of the accent color. You'll change color, and then you'll do 10 gray on top of this 10 gray, and so on. And you will finish with 4 of the gray on main color. You will do that row, and I will meet you here at the end to start working in row 17. I finished row 16. Now 17 is the same as 16. You're going to start with 6 of the main color and finish with 4. But in here you see you finish with 4, and now when you do 6 you will move the stitch a little bit over this way. Now I have 1, that's the chain 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 and 6. I was ahead of myself. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I will change to this. I will do 10 with this one, and then 10 with the gray, 10 with this one, 10 with the gray, 10 with this one, and then at the end you will finish with 4 of the gray. So 6 and 4 is the 10 stitches. So I will meet you here to work in row 18. I finished 17. Now we're going to work on 18. For 18 you're going to start with 8 stitches with the gray, and then you'll change to 10 10 10. At the end you'll finish with 2 of the gray color. So I have 1 in here, It's the chain 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. It's funny that since I said you have one here with the chain 2, and then I jumped to 3, but it was 2. So here I have 8. Now I'll change to this and start 10, 10, 10. At the end I will finish with 2 of the gray. So you start with 8 and you finish with 2. I'll continue working in row 18. I will meet you here in 19. I finished 18. 19 is exactly the same as 18. You're gonna start with 8 and finish with 2. So the chain 2 comes after the first one. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You're gonna change to this color, and you're gonna continue 10 of one color, 10 of the other, 10 of one, 10 of the next one, and at the end you'll finish with 2 of this color. And then after that we'll work in row 20. That is the last one of one whole motif. I finished 19. Now we're gonna work in the last row of the shirt, and it's 20. So I'm gonna chain 2. I'm gonna turn my work around. Now we're gonna work 10 of the gray, 10 of the accent color, 10 of the gray, 10 of the accent color. So you have 1, 2, 'So like that you're gonna continue working 10 and 10 and 10 and 10 until the end of this row, and I will meet you here to show you how you're gonna start with row 1 of the shirt. Well, I finished row 20 and look how gorgeous this look. I'm glad I changed to this color because I love it. I love the color combination. It's in person and look even better. So now you're gonna work these 20 row, the repetition over and over. You're gonna start now with repetition of 1. So I already mentioned that I have this graph in my Facebook page, Ruby Esteban Crochet, and in my Instagram, Ruby Esteban Crochet. You can guide yourself with a graph. It's much easier to work. And the only place that you have to pay attention is at the beginning and the end of the rows, because the rest of the stitches are 10, 10, 10. So for example, here in 2, you start with 2 of the accent color, and then you continue with 10, 10, 10 of each color, and at the end you will finish with 8. So those 8 plus these 2 is 10. You just spread them at the beginning and at the row. And then in 3, you start with 2 and finish with 8. The rest is 10. And here in 4, you start with 4 and finish with 6. So you just are moving those stitches from the side, moving the ones in those 10, 10, 10 in the center to create this beautiful design. So it's easier to guide yourself with the graph to do this project. So now I'm gonna work in the repetition of 1 just to show you how you're gonna change to the next color, because you finish with the accent color and you're gonna start with the main color or the gray. So let me zoom in here a little bit, that way you can see what I'm gonna do a little bit better. So what you're gonna do, you see you finish with this one. Let me fix this. You finish with this one, so now you're gonna lift the gray, pass it through that loop, and you're gonna pull the tail of this one. So when you pull the tail, you see, you bring it in between the gray and the loop, and you pass the gray through the loop, and you chain 2. That's 1 and 2, and you turn your work around, and then you can work 10 of the gray, 10 of the accent color, 10 of the gray, and 10 of the accent color. This is in the only place that you have to do something fiddly like that, because the rest is very easy. I will show you one more time. Let me fix the last stitch that I got loose, because I already recorded in Spanish, so that stitch got a little bit loose. So the last one, you see, when you finish with that one, you lift the gray, you pass it through that loop, you pull here, and when you pull, you see the gray underneath, you come here, grab the gray, pass it through the loop, 1 and 2 chain. You're going to turn your work around, and you're going to start working 10 of one color, 10 of the other one, and so on. The rest you will continue working with the chart or what we've done so far in the video. It's exactly the same. So you're going to continue working these repetitions until you have the desired length for one piece of the poncho. So you'll continue with this repetition over and over. You can do all 20 rows, or you can do 20 and then at the end do only 10. Okay, because you will do half of the motif. That's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You see, you will finish in here at the end if you do only 10 rows at the end. So you can do 30, you can do 40, you can do 50, you can do 60 rows, as long as 10-10 or 20-10, you know, and so on. So the length that you want is the length that you want for the front of your poncho until your shoulder. Okay, so I'll meet you here when I'm done mine. I will give you how many repetitions. Here I have the length that I want until I separate a little to do a little bit of shoulder for each side. So I did 3 repetition of those 20 rows, and it look amazing. So here is 1 repetition. Between this one and that one is 1, this one and this one is 2, and this one and this one is 3 repetition of those 20 rows. I measure this piece and I measure 26 inches, and that is 66 centimeters long. I love this color combination. It look amazing, and because this is with a stripe, you can see the stripes in here on your poncho, and this one stay the same because it's a solid color, so it look amazing. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work in the shoulder, and then in the other one leaving a little open space for the neck or collar. So I'm gonna work only in 26 stitches in this side, 26 stitches on the other side, leaving 28 for the center. But you have to follow, as you work, the pattern of the chart. So when you turn your work around to start with the repetition of row 1, so you're going to start from row 1, from stitch 1, you're going to do a full motif 20 plus 6 more until here. So you're going to work those 26 stitches, and then you turn your work around, work those 26 stitches back and forth until you have the width that you want for your shoulder. I probably will do 5 for mine, for each shoulder. That way in the back I do 5 and I get a full 10 row motif on the shoulder. That will be easier. So when you start the other side of your shoulder, you have to start from the center out, because when I turn my work around, you see, I starting from here, 26 stitches in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 26, and 26 on the other side. So you will finish here, and when you start the next one, you have to start from here, and you have to continue following the pattern as you go. You have to start in the other shoulder from number 6 out. That way your pattern continue on your shoulder, the pattern of the chart. So that's what we're gonna work in the first shoulder, and we're gonna start with repetition of row 1. So row 1, you're gonna work with the gray, the first 10 stitches. So you're gonna change to the gray, chain 2, 1 and 2. You're gonna turn your work around. So you're gonna work 10 stitches with the gray. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You're gonna change to the accent color. You're gonna work 10 stitches with the accent color and 6 with the main color. Those are the 26 stitches that you're gonna work for your shoulder. So you're gonna work 10 of these and 6 with the gray. So do those 26 stitches, and I will meet you here to turn work around. Here I have my 26. Now I'm gonna turn my work around. So I'm gonna come to the chart, and this is the cardboard that I used when I was doing the blanket. So I'm gonna mark 26, and if you see on top of these 6 where I finish, you'll have accent color. So you're gonna count. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with the accent color, 10 with the main color, and I will finish with 8 of the accent color. That's 26 stitches. 8 plus 8 plus 10. So now I'm gonna turn my work around. But since I finished with the gray, I had to work with the accent color. I'm gonna slip the accent color, pull tight the gray, and pass it in between the accent color, chain 2, 1 and 2. Turn your work around, and now you're gonna work 8 with the accent color. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and don't have to be just 26. You can do 27, you can do 28, you can do 29, you can do 30, but remember, the more you go this way, the smaller will be the opening for your neck or collar. Okay, so for me it will be in here. That is 9 inches the opening. So I have 6, 7 and 8. Change to the gray, the 10 with the gray and 8 with the accent color, and that will be the repetition of row 2, because we start with 1, now we're going back with 2. So I will meet you here to work on repetition of 3. I finished repetition of 2. Now for repetition of 3, you have to start with 2 of the accent color. So you're gonna come here, chain 2, turn your work around. That counts as 1. So that's 1, and this is 2. So you have to do now 10 of the main color and then 10 at the accent color, that's 22, and the last 4 you will do with the main color, with the gray. So remember, 2 with the accent, 10 with the main color or gray, 10 with the accent, that's 22 stitches, and you will have 4 left that you will do with the main color. So do this row, and I will meet you here to work and repetition of 4. So I finished the repetition here of 3. Now I'm gonna turn my work around, and I'm gonna look here in 4, and here is number 6. So I have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of the accent color, 10 of the main color, and 6 of the accent color. That's your 26. As I finished 3 with the gray, I have to start with the accent color. So I'm gonna slip the accent color. I'm gonna pull the gray and bring in between the gray, chain 1 and 2. We're gonna turn our work around, and now you will work 10 with the accent color, 10 with the main color, and 6 with the accent color. After that, we're going to be working in the repetition of 5, and that will be the first half of one of the shoulder. That will give you the 10, half of those 10 stitch repetition, okay? So do 10 of this color, 10 of the gray, and 6 of this color. Then we're going to work a repetition of 5, and in 5 you're going to start with 4 of the accent color. You're going to do 10 at the main color, 10 at the accent color, and 2 at the main color. So 4 at the beginning, plus 10, and 10 is 24, plus 2 is 26 stitches. So this will be the last row of the shoulder. You're going to leave a tail long enough to sew the shoulder. You can leave any of the 2 color, or you can leave the 2 color, and you can sew them as you work the color. This one with this color, and this one with the gray. So I already turned my work around. That counts as 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're going to change to this one. You're going to work 10 with this gray or main color, and then you will change 10 with the accent color and 2 with the gray. So after you finish this one and you cut your yarn to leave a tail for sewing, we're going to work on the other shoulder, and you're going to start from the center out. So now we're going to work on the other 26, and I want to apologize because I mentioned before that we're going to work the 26 from the 6 out, and no, you have to continue from the stitch that way you have the right pattern on your piece, because if you do what I mentioned before, you'll be working, and instead from the 26 back you'll be working in the repetition of 2. So you have to work 26 stitches, and that is in here, this 20 plus this 6, okay? So it will be from 15 here to 20, because 15 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 10 at the main color and 10 at the accent color. So you have to start with the accent color in here. So I apologize for misleading you when I said that you're going to start from here, from the 6 to the other side. So I have 10, 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here you're going to start with this one, you're gonna do a slip knot. I like to do this one a little loose, that way the knot stays on the other side. I'm gonna chain 2, 1 and 2. I want to work 6, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now you're going to change to the main color, and what you're going to do in here, you're going to bring your yarn, you're going to pass it through that loop, and you're going to tie this one, the accent color. Let me pull, and then you're going to continue working 10 stitch with this one. It's a little big here, but let me pull the tail to make it smaller. And this one you'll pull after as you work. So that is 1. Now you'll pull all the tail and that will tie it up. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. So you'll do 10 with the main color and you'll finish with 10 of the accent color, and that is how you're going to continue here. If you find that leaving these 28 stitches is too big for your color, what you can do is do 28 and 28, and that will leave 24 for the opening of your color. But I leave this big here because I do like a turtleneck going in the round, so I want it to be nice and fluffy and loose on the piece. So finish this row with the 10 of the accent color, and I will meet you here to do. So I finished in here. Now I'm gonna work in repetition at 2, and you have to start from the border here. So this one you start until here, and this one from here back and forth. But this stay as the border and the other side. So you start with 2 of the accent color. You're gonna do 10 of the main, 10 at the accent, and you're going to do 4 at the accent color. That's 26 stitches. So you start with 2, 10 and 10 is 22, plus 4 is 26. So now you have to work with the accent color. So you're going to chain 2, count as 1. You're going to do 1 more, it's 2. Now you change to the gray or main color, and you're gonna do 10 with this one, 10 with the accent color, and 4 with the gray or main color, and then I will meet you here to work in row 3. Okay, I finished with row 3. Now for 4, you're gonna come here, and it's from 15 this way. So you're gonna work in row 3, 15. So you have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the accent color, 10 of the main color, and 8 of the accent color. So 8 and 8 is 16, plus 10, 26. So now we have to change color because we finished with the gray, and we have to continue the next row with the accent color. So you're going to pass through that loop and do the color change. Turn your work around. That's 1 of 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You're going to change to the main color, And I have a little bit of a twister Rooney here. This is twisted. Okay. You're going to change to the gray. You're going to do 10 with this, and the last 8 you're going to do with the accent color. You're going to finish this row, and I will meet you here to work in row. I'm going to work in repetition of 4, so you're going to start with 4 at the accent color, 10 at the main, 10 at the accent, and you're going to finish with 2 of the main color. So 4 of the accent color plus 10 of the main, and 10 at the accent is 24 plus 2 at the main color is or 26 stitches that we're going to work now, and repetition of row 4. So we're going to work 4, the chain 2 is 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to change to the gray or main color. Let me pull a little bit here. And I'm going to do 10 with this color, and 10 with the accent color, and then the last 2 I will do with the gray, and then I will meet you here to work in the last row. There will be the repetition of 5, and then we're done our second shoulder. Now we're going to work a 5, and 5 is in here, so that is 5, 8 here. So you're going to work 10 at the accent color, 10 at the main color, and the last 6 of the accent color. And that's what we're going to do in the last row. So since we finished with 10 at the main, and we have to start with the accent color, again we're going to slip this color and pass this one in between. 1 and 2 chain. You're going to turn your work around. You're going to work 10 with this one and 10 with the gray, and then the last 6 you will do with the main color. You will finish cutting the yarn, leaving a tail long enough for sewing the other shoulder. Okay, so I'll meet you here at the end of this row. Well, your piece will look like this, and you see in here you have the continuation of the stitch, the same in here, that way, and it look like this. So now what you're gonna do is do another piece exactly the same as this one. You're gonna do a chain the same as the first one that you did. You're gonna do the same amount of rows. It's easy to continue in the next one with the rows because you will see how many repetitions you have here. It's easier to guide yourself for the next one. So you will do the same amount of repetition that you do in the first one. You will do the same for the shoulder, and then I will meet you here to put the 2 pieces together and then to do a collar around the neck. So I decided not to use this one because the next color is not the right color to start like this one. So this one I will do a smaller cake in my winder, and I will leave it for another project or for the color. And then I grab the next ball of yarn. This one is the same color as this part in here, and the next color after this is the lighter color, and that's what I have in here. So I will try, don't gonna be exactly the same, but I will try to match the stripe almost at the same level. So I keep my fingers crossed, that will work. But if it's not, don't matter, because this one, it will stay exactly in the same level as the next piece. That's important. So I'm gonna start working in my next piece, and then we'll continue with our poncho. Here I have my 2 pieces done exactly the same. Now with the tail that we left in here, we're gonna sew a shoulder and then the next shoulder, and then we're gonna work on the collar. First, I'm gonna lose all the tails, all the short tails that I have all the way around. I only gonna leave the long ones to sew the shoulders, and that will make things easier. Once you finish the piece, you don't have that many tails to lose. So, and here we have different colors. So what I did, I separated the gray and the pinkish color to work in the pink with the pink and in the gray with the gray yarn. If you don't leave too long a strand, what you do is you sew with, you left this one, that piece, and then grab another piece from your ball of yarn and sew the gray, and then at the end you finish with the pink. That way it'll look nice and you don't have some of the pink on top of the gray especially. So that's what I'm gonna do in here. I know I have 2 stitches here, but I'm gonna start with this one because we're gonna have the color here and you don't gonna see that part as much. Like this is the opening for the head after you sew the 2 shoulders. If you like, you can leave it like this, but for mine I'm gonna do a turtleneck. So I use only one of the gray for the entire piece. I have this left over, and since I use a new ball of the blend, the mixed color, and I have more of that because I was working with two, I'm gonna continue with this one for the turtleneck or the color. So I only have had two gray. I have one left, and I want to leave that one for a different project. So I'm gonna come here, gonna pass a loop. I did a slip knot, and then I will pass that loop through here. I'm gonna chain 2, 1 and 2, and at the same time I will be losing that tail, and I'm gonna do half double crochet all the way around. That way I continue with a half double crochet in the entire piece. I'm going to show you how you're gonna work in here. You see, that's where we stop working, and we continue with the shoulder. So you're gonna continue with the half double crochet, and then this part. Now the stitches that go up, and some of them you're gonna do 2, and in other ones you're gonna do 1. And the next one I will do 2. If I can open the strand. And in the next one I will do 1. And in the next one 2 and 1, 2 and 1. And like that you're gonna continue until here, and then you're gonna continue in this side all the way to this shoulder, and you do 2 and 1, and then you continue working in here, and you will finish at the end with a slip stitch on the second chain. I'm gonna finish here with a slip stitch on the second chain. You're gonna chain 2, and you're gonna do a half double crochet, on each half double crochet, and you're gonna work like this around and around until you have the desired length. For mine I'm gonna work around 20 centimeter, like that, to try it on. If I like it like that, I leave it 20. If not, I'll give it more. So the length is up to you. If you don't want to do a turtleneck, and you want to just to do a little, you know, work on your color, what you do is in this row you will do decrease on the corners, so it had to be between these 3 stitches here. You see, this one is from this side, this one is the one in the corner, and that one is the first one in the shoulder. So you're gonna work, and you will decrease 2 stitches in there, because out of 3 you will have 1. So here is the 1. So you're gonna do this half double crochet. You don't want to finish, yarn over, go to the next one, and the last one, and you're gonna pass through those, and then you continue working with your half double crochet. Okay, so I'll show you again. 1, 2, and 3. You close those 3 and you continue with the rest, and you will do that in all the corners, and it will look like this. You see, you just do that and you will have a nice border around the color of your piece. If you don't want a turtleneck, so you have the choice of doing a turtleneck or do your color. So I decided like to continue like this because I like the way it look in the corner here. So I'll do all my other 3 corners like that, and then I will show you how I'm gonna continue with the so now I'm working in the next row, and I'm doing a half double crochet on top of each double crochet, but this time I'm doing in the back strand the last row, and then in the next row I will do it through the 2 strand, and then the one after that one through the back strand. That way it will have a nice little design in this part, but you can do this through the 2 strand. I'm working now through the back, and I here you see the little line in here. So I will work half double crochet on top of half double crochet until I have my desired I did a few rows, and I tried it on to see how this part is looking. So this part is a little bit too loose, too big. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove 2 rows. So in this row here I did a decrease, and then I done 1, 2, 3, 4 more. So I'm gonna remove 2, and in the second one that I'm gonna remove I will do it again. Well, I'm not gonna remove completely, I will do it until in here where I can do a decrease in each corner. So we'll have 2 rows in between the decrease, and then I will do 2 more rows. I will try it around to see I don't have to do any more decrease. If I don't, and then I will continue straight, but it's a little bit too big like you see in here, but I love how it's looking so far. So I just wanted to mention that you try your own, and you can do decrease if you have. So I decided instead of undoing 2 rows, I undid 3. That way we have only 1 row in between the decrease. It will look much better like that. So here in the corner in these 3, I'm gonna do 3 without working, and that will be 2 stitch decrease on each corner. I will do the next row working in the back strand. After that I will try it on, and if I like the size of the neck part, and then I will continue working straight. Okay, when you have your length, you can slip you stitch, chain 1, cut the yarn, lose the tail, or you can do what I'm gonna do in mine. I'm gonna do a slip stitch all the way around, and here you see under the 2 strand that look like a chain, I'm gonna pass and I'm gonna do a slip stitch nice and loose, that way I don't make those stitch tight, and I'm gonna do a slip stitch all the way around, and you will see with this yarn how nice that look like that. It's a thicker border, and look this one without it. You see I'm going under these 2 and doing the slip stitch, and I give a nice round border to the piece. So that's what I'm gonna do all the way around. At the end I will do slip stitch, cut the yarn, lose the tail, and then I will show you where I'm gonna place my buttons. You see how nice that look, nice and round edge, and instead like this. Well, I finished here with the color, and I'm giggling because sometimes you don't know for whom you're working. Because I showed my daughter and she fell in love with it, my older daughter, and she wanted it. So I think it's for her now. So I did 2 decrease and then here, and then after those 2 decrease I work straight, and that's why I have a really nice form, the turtleneck, and the slip stitch make this border nice and round, and it look fantastic with a much nicer finish. It's something simple, but it works. So I measure it from here, from the last decrease, because that's the one that works straight for the turtleneck. So this measure from this one, that was where I did the last decrease, that row, measure 21 centimeters, the length of the collar or the neck. So if you have buttons, we'll sew the buttons. If you don't have buttons, you can sew the side. So to sew the buttons, what I did was I measured the piece on my daughter because she wanted the poncho, and I put this pin in here. So around here, I'm gonna sew one button. Now, if you like, you can sew the button in the back and pass it through a hole here, but these buttons are so big that you don't gonna make this hole big enough. So what I'm gonna do is sew them right through to the 2 layers of the poncho, because you don't need to open this. I'm gonna sew one there, and around here I will sew the other one right through to the 2 layers, and then we will leave an opening on the side, on each side. So you have to measure the piece on you, mark some, or somebody can mark where you can sew the first button, this one, and then the other one around your waistline, and then the rest open. And when you sew one, you will count how many row, in which row you sew one button. You will count in the other side and do the same, place the button exactly. For example, let's say I sew this one in 28, so on the other side I had to sew in 28. And mark in the back as well, that way you have your piece nice and even, and the same in this one in here. So I'll sew the buttons in my poncho and I will show you the end result. Another option that you have, you can secure with the needle and thread and here first, and then after sew your button in the top. I'm gonna do that for these lower buttons because in here is where you're gonna put more pressure, put it on and off, on and off, on and off. So it's better to secure first and then just sew the button a few passes for the button. So you have to try this on. I just tried it on to see these because I saw this one and the other one on the other side, and absolutely love this poncho. It look amazing, it feel amazing, nice and warm and nice and soft with this material. Is absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So you try it on and see where you want to sew your buttons, because not all the bodies are the same. You maybe want your buttons a little bit more to the inside, that way the poncho is a little tighter, or you want a little out, and giving around 2 fingers from the border to sew the buttons. And in between these buttons here, I have, like, if you don't have measurement tape, around from border to border, like 7 fingers like this, or you can measure and it will be from border to border of the button 4 inches and 3 little lines. Okay, so you have to do this according to your body. So I'm gonna secure this a little bit first, and then I will sew my button in here and then the other side. Well, this is the end result, and absolutely love this poncho. I love the color combination. This yarn is amazing. I wish you guys can touch the material that you make with this yarn, that way you see how soft and warm it is. And it's not stiff or anything, it's lovely. My mannequin is a medium size, so it looks perfect as well, even if it's an oversized poncho. So you can do exactly the same size as mine. Well, I hope you guys like it, and give a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber. And if you make this beautiful poncho and you want to send me some picture, you can do it through my Facebook page, Ruby Steadman Crochet, or my Instagram, Ruby Steadman Crochet. Please share my videos with friends and family, that way you help me grow here on YouTube. I wish you have a beautiful day. Bye.